Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. I have my apron on, and that can only mean one thing. We are back in the kitchen. Today I have out another one of my favorite gadgets, which is my slow cooker, crock pot, whatever you choose to call it. That's what I am going to be cooking today. And today we are going to be making a fudgy, wonderfully chocolate lava cake out of the slow cooker because it is summertime in the Ozarks, and the more heat I can keep out of the house, the better I like it. So let's get started. I have my slow cooker sprayed with just some cooking spray to keep things from sticking. I'm going to move that out of the way and we will get started on mixing our ingredients. First, we add our dry ingredients into our mixing bowl, and that is going to start with 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. On this plate, I have 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Now, not like the drink mix, like Hershey's mix that you put in milk or anything. No, this is actually baking cocoa powder, and that's 3 tablespoons. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And that's just going to go right in there with that flour and sugar. And just combine that up really well, because this is going, if you have not seen my recipe on water pie, this is another one of those recipes that you look at and it's you wonder exactly how this is going to work, because it does not sound like it should work the way it is put together, but trust the process. It does work, and it will make you a wonderful dessert. Now, if you wanted to, you can see right in there, there are, a few little clumps. You could sift that together if you want to, but it is not going to matter once I get that. Now, if you got big clumps, make sure you break those up, but these are just small clumps and does not make that big of a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a well, just kind of a little hole in the center of those dry ingredients. The next thing I'm going to be doing is adding the wet ingredients into the dry and mix those up before putting in the slow cooker. I have 1/2 cup of whole milk, and to that I am going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/3 cup of melted butter. And that's just, I'm just going to mix it up right here in my measuring cup, because hey, why dirty up more stuff in the kitchen if you don't have to? So I'm just adding that right there together. And my next step that I'm going to do is pull this back closer, and where I made that little well, I'm just going to pour that right into the center there. Get all that good stuff out of that cup. Don't want to waste it. And then I'm just going to mix the 2 of these together. Just as simple as that. You can use a hand mixer if you want to. You can use your spoon if you want to. I've just got my little whisk out, and I'll just kind of mix this all together. And you can see that makes a pretty thick fudgy batter there. See how thick that is? But The reason mine is so dark, as I didn't point out, but I use that special dark cocoa mix that I seem to always have around the house here because I love that stuff, and because I found it on sale at my Benton Dent, and I just love the taste of dark chocolate. So that is why this looks very dark, because it is. So that's how quick that blended together. See, it's very thick. See there? Now I'm going to put this into the crock pot. And I've got the crock pot back over in front of me, and I'm just going to get all of that wonderful chocolate goodness out of there and spread into the bottom of my slow cooker. I know I keep calling it crock pot, slow cooker, crock pot, slow cooker. You know, I call it both. I know some people have a favorite name for it, but I call it whatever, because it works the same no matter what I call it. I know I'm slow, but I am trying to get all of that out of there. Though when my kids were little, and I'm sure when I was little, and when most of you were little, if you had any sweet stuff your mama mixed up, you would kind of hang around hoping that there would be some left in the bowl, so you could kind of help clean the bowl and lick the spoon. Okay, I am just spreading this around in there. Now with that cooking spray in it, to keep it from sticking, it of course does slide around. And I am bumping my camera, so the shaking that you feel, or that you see going on is not an earthquake, it's just me bumping. And here we go. I'm going, since I don't have kids around the house to lick the spoons for me, I'm just gonna do this, because honestly, as much as I'd like to lick the spoon, I'm just as ready for this to be done so I can have a spoon of it. But there we go. I got that out of there. Get that out of the way. So I have got that spread, and now it's time for the next layer. Now this next part of the recipe could not be any more simple, because the ingredients are very limited. We do 3/4 cups of white sugar, just granulated sugar, and I'm just pressing out any of those little lumps that I have in there. The next is going to be the same amount of brown sugar, and that is 3/4 cup. Now that is you're making sure that you pack your brown sugar. There may be some recipes out there somewhere that says that you don't pack your brown sugar, but I've never seen one of those recipes, because I don't know how you have an accurate measure if you don't pack it. So what I do is I just dip my measuring spoon into my bag and use the bag to press it down, and when it comes out, it should be a glob just like that, and that shows you that it is packed. So that is 3/4 cups of brown sugar, 3/4 cups of white sugar. Now you could use dark brown. If you use dark brown sugar, that's just going to give it a little bit richer taste. Just means there was more molasses put into that sugar to make it brown sugar. Did you know that's how you make brown sugar? If you ever need a substitute for brown sugar and you have molasses and regular sugar in the house, you just mix molasses and sugar, and that makes brown sugar. That's all it is. It's that simple. So there I have the brown sugar, and I have the white sugar mixed together. Like I said, I've got my little canister doesn't quite keep out all the moisture out of my sugar, so I'll get little lumps occasionally, but that's okay because I can mash them right back out. And there I go. Very few things are total disasters in the kitchen, If your bean pot blows off the lid and you end up with beans on the ceiling, that might be a disaster. You know, it's kind of hard to smear your cornbread on the ceiling to get the beans off, but short of that, very few things in the kitchen are a disaster. So a few lumps in your sugar is no big deal. So there's the sugar. The next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to be putting some cocoa in with the sugar. Again, this is the special dark cocoa. And I know I'll probably make pastry chef's heads spin when I just dip my measuring cups and spoons and things into the canisters rather than delicately measuring them out, but I do not do that very often, so I mean delicately measuring, not real big on that. I just kind of get after it because, you know, it's gonna be good. And I am I am mixing up this cocoa in there, but I'm not done. I almost thought I was, but I wasn't, because I need 2 tablespoons in addition to the 1/4 of a cup that I had in there. So added a 1/4 of a cup and 2 tablespoons of cocoa to my sugars that I have in there. All right, and once I get all of that mixed up real good, we're fixing to create some magic, folks. All right, there we go. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move stuff out of my way, and I'm going to pull my pot back over here close to me, and I'm going to just sprinkle this over the batter that I have in there. I know, just like that water pie, it sounds weird, but it's going to work, okay? So just sprinkle this over the top. Make sure you kind of have it in there as evenly as possible. It's just, again, don't spend great amount of time trying to get it absolutely perfect and throwing a level up on it to make sure that it's completely level, and it's going to be good. Okay, just kind of spread it out as best you can. Do not mix. Again, just like the water pie where I kept saying, do not mix, do not mix, do not mix. Do not mix this, because if you do, it's not going to turn out the way it's supposed to. Not going to say it's going to be unsalvageable, but it is not going to be the lava cake that we're cooking. Now, here comes the weirdest part, and this is 2 1/4 cups of water. And this is hot water, and you're supposed to put all of it in the pot and not down the side of it like I just did. But what I'm doing is I'm just pouring this over the top. This is hot water. I heated it up in my tea kettle, and I've just poured it directly over the top. That's all you got to do. Do not stir it, okay? Please, do not stir. Now I've got to find wherever I put my lid, because I know I had a lid. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I just put my lid on there, and I'm going to plug this booger up. And I am going to set it for, I'm going to start with 3 hours. It says 3 to 4 hours, and I have done it both ways, but there you go. I have got it set for 3 hours on high. After 3 hours, we're going to come back, check it to see if it's ready. If it's not, we'll just set it for another hour. Oh, you caught me. And here it has been 3 hours that this has been cooking on high in the slow cooker. Final test. Just putting the toothpick in there. You know, a couple of little crumbs, and that is all. So that shows us it is done. You can see the bubbly goodness right around the edges. That is going to be wonderful. And we will give you a taste test here in just a moment. Well, I have somebody here to help me taste test it because I know if it's nasty, he'll say so. So here we are with the chocolate lava cake. Well, what you think?
Edible.
It's almost like a pudding and a cake.
I like the cake.
You like what?
The cake. I don't need quite as much chocolate on it, but
Well, excuse me, you got stuff everywhere. That is part of the cake. It's cooked. There's no icing on it. That's part of the cake. That's why it's called lava cake. It's like a pudding in the center. That's the way. Eat your own cake. What?
you can have the lava. I'll take the cake.
Fine, we'll switch. Now, to be fair, he doesn't like icing that much. He likes just cake. And so, if you like pudding and you like cake, or, I mean, it's really not like sugary, really, really sweet, is it?
Uh-uh.
So, I like that because you get more of the chocolate flavor in there. And it's that dark chocolate, and it's rich, so you really don't need a lot of it. But here you can see the pudding on there. His was the one.
How about young?
Oh, yeah, the one. Yeah, he just liked the cake. He didn't want the pudding. He didn't want the lava out of the lava cake. But apparently he didn't have that much of a problem with it because his plate's almost empty.
You didn't feed me nothing.
I'm starving him to death. He's just withering away. He didn't.
Yeah.
He had supper only an hour ago, hour and a half, something like that. So it's been a while. I'm starving him to death. We love y'all. No, he needs water. We love y'all. Hope you have a great evening. Hope you try this chocolate lava cake, and let me know down in the comments below what you think. Do you have a favorite recipe that you cook in your slow cooker? Again, let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share, and please come back again. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.